I don't think we can talk about his recent form because it hasn't been good. It's been, yes, he scored goals, but it's been so patchy. And if he does get named, I think he's been named more so because of the press and the fact of really what people are seeing. So I I wouldn't be one of those ones who suddenly be advocating for him to be called up in the squad. It's quite easy at the moment to call someone in a England squad at the moment because Gareth Southgate got 55 different people, you know. And I think if I was in today's game and I hadn't been involved and I get called up as one of the 55, I think I might be a little bit disappointed because I wouldn't want my name mentioned unless I was in the actual finishing squads. The way the Spanish national team play, and they've been doing it for years, it's very, very important. It's a different kind of goalkeeper to what David De Gea is. So I can fully maybe understand because of that and the way the Spanish play. You know, it's very, very important that the goalkeeper is that one is like the 11, you know, half decent, other 10 decent with his feet. But I think if you judge him in the Premier League, there's no better shot stopper in it. You know, you look at a top club, you look at the sides that deem themselves big, then David De Gea is mostly the best. Dalot, for me at the moment, is one of the best right backs in the league. His performances have been so consistent, really consistent. Defensively, he has improved 50%. Improved. He's actually wanting to defend. He's tracking back, but he's not making that many recovery tackles because he's doing his work early. He's in the right positions, and his attitude has been absolutely spot on. And the fact of wanting to make tackles, appreciating his teammates when they do good things as well, has been someone who's absolutely, so far this season, has taken the club to his heart, where before I don't think his heart was there. I think he was being messed about in the sense of he was getting games and not getting games. I think he saw himself, and there's nothing wrong to think this, is that he was a lot better than the previous right back. So maybe that disillusioned him because he was playing more games than him. And all of a sudden now someone's come in and said, you're playing, and then you're playing again. And now he knows it's up to him how long he plays for because of the fact of he's doing his job properly. I would say Manchester United could be competing to challenge for a Premier League maybe next season. I think that Manchester United could be competing to looking to be finished, you know, finishing behind Manchester City next season. And I look at him for Spurs, and I think he's quite integral in everything they do at this moment in time. He joins everything up. He's he doesn't like giving the ball away. He gets around and he closes play down very well. He's quite a clean tackler. Doesn't get many yellow cards. Doesn't get many fouls against him as well. He's absolutely, at this moment, he is so important. I think we've seen that already with Spurs, that when he hasn't been playing, there is a big difference in that midfield. I was at the Spurs v Newcastle game. I think it would have been a different Spurs performance if he'd have played against Newcastle in that midfield. Not saying that they wouldn't have they would have beaten Newcastle, but I think there would have been a little bit more in that midfield because the midfield was lacking a personality, and that's what he's got about him. He's a very underrated player. It always seems that Danish players don't get enough credit when they do come into the Premier League. When you look at him, and you can look at stats all day long, but you've got to look at the person to say, are the stats relevant to his performances now? No, the stats are not relevant to Aubameyang's the way he is now and his attitude now. I'm not seeing what I would believe in a forward where a top side would go and sign, that technical ability as well. So, and I think the biggest problem, I think everyone would talk about Aubameyang is the attitude, the vibes he put. You know, it's like, Is he showing enough passion to want to play football? And I don't see that. I don't see him scoring enough goals. You'd think the player, been given the opportunity to come back to the UK, got the opportunity to go to another big London club, another one in a great part of London as well. One that I'm sure he'd mostly enjoy, the West End side of it, but he hasn't gone and grabbed it. So straight away, you got to question his attitude. Does he want to play football? Is he interested? How easy does he want it? How easy does he want it to earn his money? Marcus Alonso was one of them. He drove when he played left back. You could hear Chelsea fans. They were great. They weren't happy. He wasn't a good defender. He just didn't have that zest, that dynamism to want to get to close people down. He was easy to get behind. But as a wing back, there was a spell where he's maybe one of the best in the country, and there isn't many who play that role. But you talk about one of the best in Europe, and it's maybe for a stint, because he ended up in some unbelievable goal scoring positions. He knew how to do a job in the opponent's box. He knew how to link play while in midfield going into the attacking third. So he suited them excellently. He would have suited him much better because he was one of them as well. Ball retention was very, very good, and Graham Potter likes that as well. So it'll be interesting what Graham Potter does during the summer, what he's going to be able to spend his money on, because I'm sure it's not going to be always what he wants. The one thing you are going to get with Raheem Sterling is hard work. Always going to get hard work, but the one thing you're not guaranteed is he going to score goals. You know he's going to get in great areas, but you're not sure if he's going to be able to finish them. And that's what he was like throughout his career. How many goals was he going to be able to score? And I think Chelsea has seen that already. I think I saw a montage of him at Manchester City where they showed it, the position. They're doing a bit on De Bruyne, and De Bruyne with him, and the amount of balls that he put into great areas for him, and he just wasn't taking them. Now, if he was taking them, he'd still be at Man City. That's the thing. And as much as he said he might have wanted to leave, Man City were content to let him go and let him go to Chelsea, not go overseas, not go to a team that wants to challenge them. So that says what Manchester City and Pep think about him. But you're going to get hard work from him. Is he a starter for England? I have to say yes. He is a starter for England because he can make things happen by the way he is. He's quite impetuous in the way he plays. He's willing to make a bad ball into a good ball, and he's seen him so many times for England make something out of nothing. So he's important for England. I think Graham Potter, again, can improve him because he does improve players. I think if we're judging De Bruyne, I think we definitely put him beyond Lampard. Lampard, we'll talk about goals. Kevin De Bruyne, we can talk about goals, but we can look at we can talk about assists. We can talk about what he creates, the opportunity he creates. Most of the assists they talk about now is someone just taps a ball to someone 5 yards away, these judgments of assist is ridiculous, but it makes or breaks someone's career because there's all this behind them, and you look at their assists and you go, he's tripped over the ball, he's blocked a shot, and he's gone to somebody and they've scored. De Bruyne's ones they're like virtually like you couldn't make it up. You couldn't do it to what he does. There isn't any player, and it's absolutely mad. No, it's mad that Chelsea allowed themselves to be swayed by Mourinho to let him go. It's absolutely ridiculous because that hasn't just turned up. He didn't learn that at Wolfsburg to do what he's doing, not at all. So that it didn't work out at Chelsea because it was personal, and maybe the club just didn't realise the talent they had and they let him go. And then for somebody like Pep and people like that to find that, and obviously Pep found that out from his time at Bayern Munich, saw something there that he could work with and build on, and he's made him at this moment in time the best best midfield player in the world.